Hi Yarny friends, it's Dawn from Ninja Bunny Crochet and TJ. And we hopped on today to talk about the new crochet hooks that I got. So let me put TJ down so he can run around. And I'll get the crochet hooks. So I've been wanting to get these hooks for quite a while now. And a lot of you might be familiar with these. These are the Odyssey Crochet Hooks by Furls. And every time I get the email that they're in, I go on the website and lo and behold, they're sold out before I could get them. But this last time when they sent me the email, I hopped on and they were in. And I was able to snag 4 of them. I mean, I could have gotten some more, but these are the 4 most used sizes that I use. So let's hop on over to the craft table and we'll get an up-close look at these hooks. I'm going to compare them to some of the other hooks that I have, and I'll talk about what I like about them, what I don't like about them. We'll talk about the price point and everything else about these hooks. So let's hop on over. Here's an up-close look at the Furls Odyssey Crochet Hooks. And the one thing you'll notice, first of all, these are nice, chunky crochet hooks. They have this nice ergonomic handle. They fit really well in your hand. They're longer than what I'm used to. I'm used to more or less the clover crochet hooks. This is the G hook. Let's grab up a comparison here. We have an H hook, and let's grab the H hook here. So you can see, set these over here side so we can get a clear view of what we're looking at here. So you can see how much different the length is in the 2 hooks. And I have been slowly also becoming a fan of the resin streamline crochet hooks too, which are even longer than the Odyssey hooks. Now, if we're going to talk price point here, they are definitely have a different price point here. We'll just put them in order as far as price point go. So the clover hooks run about $7 to $10 a hook. And then you have your Furls Streamline hooks, which are $24. And then you have your Odyssey hooks, which are the Cadillac of crochet hooks. And these run about $36 a hook. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the features of the Furls Streamline hooks. So this is not an aluminum hook, this is a nickel hook. So that is a part of the reason why you have a little bit more cost-wise. But this is very, very smooth, and your yarn just glides over it just like butter. And it's weighted. So this is very balanced in your hand. You might think, oh, well, a weighted hook is going to be too heavy for me. I have arthritis. I have osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, so I have got both. So I have a double whammy when it comes to arthritis. And I used to think that these were the bomb diggity as far as crochet hooks and for my arthritis. And then I started using these hooks and found that these were very, very comfortable for my hands and my wrist, and I could crochet much longer with the resin hooks because of this how much wider the hook was, and that it was very comfortable in my hands. So I decided to take the step and get some of these Odyssey hooks. Now I've had them for several days now, and I have crocheted quite a bit of with them and found that these are very, very comfortable and they do not hurt my wrist, and I can crochet much longer with them. The difference is that with what I'm used to with these clover hooks is that they have this flat spot right here, and it puts my hook in the perfect position. So the hook is facing me, and that's what I'm used to when I crochet. The one thing that with the clover hooks is that this part right here rubs up against my hand, and sometimes that will give me a bit of a challenge when it comes to the length of time I'm crocheting, because this part of my hand can go numb from the hook rubbing up against my hand, especially if I'm doing like a long project like a blanket or something, a blanket or an adult sweater. Baby sweaters not so much because they're smaller. With the Furls hook, I have to make sure I have this in the proper position, so the hook has to be facing me before I start my project. But as you can see, this goes past my hand, so it gives me a lot more length in the hook, and this doesn't hit the back part of my hand and bother my hand. Now, I do have a habit of putting my finger up on the hook when I'm crocheting, especially when I go in. I put my finger there to hold the stitches in place. That just helps me with my tension. Not everybody does that. That's just something that I've developed a habit of doing that to help me with my tension. And I still do it even with the Furls hooks. That's just something, a habit that I've done ever since I first learned how to crochet. And let me just grab up some yarn here and I will demonstrate how I do this. It's just a habit that I have. I guess after, 40 plus years of crocheting, you just get into the habit of what you do. Not everybody does it. It's just something that I do, as you can see. But the yarn just slips right through, no problems. As long as I'm paying attention and not looking up at the camera. So let me just get a little more yarn out. So I've really have come to really like these hooks a lot. Will I get rid of my Clover and Moores? No, I won't. I really love my Clover and Moore hooks too, and I think sometimes it depends on the yarn on which style hook I'm going to use. If the yarn is really super splitty, I'm probably going to go back to my Clover and Moore hooks versus using the Furls hooks, especially the Risen hooks, because for some reason with really super splitty yarn, the Risen hooks they just give me a time trying to use splitty yarn. These Odyssey hooks, not so much. I can do it. If the yarn is thin and it calls for a slightly larger hook, like let's say this H hook, then I'm going to have a bit of a time with the Furls hook. So I will fall back to my Clover and Moore hooks. So it really depends on the yarn I'm using, which hook style I'm going to use. Like these are I'm doing some nice little single crochets, and these hooks really do help with my tension. I don't seem to have any problems keeping my tension, and I'm not like one of those crocheters that like wrap yarn up around my working yarn around my hand. I can never seem to keep tension that way. It always ends up tightening up around my fingers, and I don't know how people crochet like that. But to each his own, you know what I mean? So I just kind of hold my yarn between my fingers and do it that way. So like I said, everybody crochets differently. Everybody holds their yarn differently. So there, it works really well. And let's just do a row of doubles just so that you can see that it's, well, let's try chaining up properly there. We have 1, 2, and then we're going to do our double. So you can see that it really works really easily, and your stitches come out really nice. So these hooks are definitely, in my opinion, they are worth the price. I mean, not everybody can afford to spend, $36 on a hook. I mean, if you're gonna, it's not like you have to buy a whole set all at once. You can just buy one at a time too. I just they happen to have the email that came out that said, hey, Odyssey hooks are in stock. So I went over there and they actually had not sold out yet. Usually every time I go over to look at the Odyssey hooks, they are out of stock, at least the sizes that I want. They either have the little teeny tiny ones or they have the enormously large hooks. So I wanted to get the sizes that I use. You know, I use basically four sizes is what I use. I use the G, the H, the I, and the J, and that's usually what I use. So here we go. Here is a row of double crochets. So let's just go like this, pull the hook out. So you can see that it works really, really well to give you some really nice stitch quality. So, are there things that I don't like about these hooks? Yes, there are, and that would be the marking right there that gives you your sizing. It's just a little sticker, and that is with all of these hooks. They have just a little sticker for your marking, and that eventually is going to wear off, which is why I got my hooks in different colors so that I would know what sizes those hooks are by the color of the hook. What I like about the resin hooks is that they're not only stamped, but they're like engraved. You can feel the etching in there. And it's like that on like all the resin hooks. Now, when I said the prices, these were $24. If you're going to get one of these ones, these Rainbow Pride hooks, these are a slight bit more. I think they run about $30, I think. I didn't write the price down on this. You'd have to go on Furls' website to check this out. These are a slight bit more, probably because they're multicolored like that. It takes a little bit more work to make these hooks. So that is my Furls Odyssey Crochet Hooks. I will put links in the description box below to Furls for the Odyssey hooks. When they're in stock, they may not be in stock right now, so you'll have to sign up for their email list. So if you are interested in getting Furls hooks, they'll email you when they come in, and once you get that email, if you are in the market to buy a Furls Odyssey hook, you should hop on over right away because they do sell out really, really fast. And I will also link the resin hooks in the description box below, and they do have these Furl Streamline hooks in wood. I don't have any of the wood hooks. I am considering getting a couple of the wood hooks just to see how they work. Not a particularly big fan of wood hooks. I think they have a lot of drag on them, and they have to me, at least the wood hooks that I've used, I wasn't really a big fan of them. But since the resin hooks work so great and these Odyssey hooks work really fantastic, I'm thinking maybe I'll give Furls wood hooks a shot and see how they work. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy crocheting! Bye-bye!